Let's take a look at the best meta decks. What are the top decks in Marvel Snap right now? We're going to use two resources for this. I like to go to Untapped, and I also like to go over to Marvel Snap Zone. Both have solid tools, so we'll jump back and forth between the two of those. We're starting off at untapped.gg. Right now, the way I've got this set up is we're looking at ranks. Maybe we'll look at Conquest too, but I think most viewers, most players are probably still working on ranked. Not necessarily focused on Conquest because they're trying to hit Infinite or the highest rank they can until they switch over to Conquest, etc. We'll do it from the latest patch. We're going to do Pool 3 Plus. I think that's probably the best thing to kind of look at. Right now, I also want to look at rank 80 to 99. I don't want to go higher than that because it's mainly the decks that I think people are getting to Infinite with. So, having said that, we've got a number of different tiers here. We got in A, we've got Move, Hella Tribunal, and Patriot Surfer. Really interesting. Okay. We'll look at each one of those in a second. In B, Alioth Lockdown. Everybody crying about Alioth. Sorry, I love you still. I just gonna throw some shade your way. Not real shade, love shade. And then we've got Iron Patriot. Basically, the point is it's not an A. Iron Patriot, Shuri, High Evo, Shuri Kitty. Also Bloodstone, a little bit lower here. And this is since the latest patch. Okay. We'll see if that, I mean, that's still the same as, I guess, maybe a little bit less, but the last 7 days. Alioth Ramp again in B, Thanos Control, Cerebro 2, She-Not. C, we've got Loki all the way down in C. Everybody wanting Loki nerfs too. What's going on? These cards we're crying for nerfs for, according to this website. It's not in a higher tier. Decent win rate for sure. Popularity is pretty solid at 4.3%. Nowhere near Elsa, obviously, but that's to be expected. But you've got Move with more popularity than Loki right now. And then the trash C or D ones, Discard, Negative Surfer, Collector, Cerebro 3 and 5, Hella, Patriot, Thanos, Zoo. And then some question marks down here. Sarah Control with a question mark. Interesting. So I just want to look at the move that they're talking about here. What do they got? They've got Alioth in that move, of course. All right. You know, stone me now. I take back my love shade from earlier. Alioth in the move deck. I'll rip. I obviously didn't check that before I did it. So anyway, Alioth still pretty OP. Let's see, is he in these other ones? Not in this one. Hella Tribunal, I will say I've seen a lot more lately, and it is obviously something like this version. You got the crystal in there. A lot of good solid cards. You do get risky with the Iron Lad, but it is potentially nice if you get it, but you could pull Hella before your MODOK type of thing. It's a little risky, but nonetheless, I've seen that's been doing pretty good. I still don't have Living Tribunal. Let's get them in another spotlight with cards that we care about. Patriot Surfer, pretty solid deck here. I'm not going to go through the details on this one, but you get your Brood, Absorbing Man, Iron Lad combinations. Patriot, also Absorbing Man and Iron Lad copying Mr. Sinister's pretty good. Forge, Defeat the Sinister. Or really Brood, Absorbing Man, or Iron Lad, all good options there with the Forge. And then some pretty, I won't go through each one of these. I do want to look at the Elsa Bloodstone version they've got here. This looks like the zero draw Elsa Bloodstone, at least that's what I like to call it, or zero fill, where you're trying to get a number of zeros here. Luke Cage to help with the Yellow Jacket not doing anything. It's a low cost filler card for Hela to be able to fill things up. And then you've got your Thor to pull another zero. And then you've got your Jane Foster to plop on 5. Now, I sometimes struggle with the 5 Jane Foster and Bishop. So that means on 6, you're really limited. You do have a situation where Wave can really destroy this deck, but that's why you've really got to get Mobius out there for that one. But I love Elsa Bloodstone. So that's what they've got for the latest patch. I do want to look to if last 30 days, let's see how things change. So this is interesting. We extend the duration and we get Elsa Bloodstone and Hella Tribunal pop into the top. So that means some of the decks we looked at, maybe we're doing better more recently to jump them up a little bit. Whereas if you look at them over the course of the last 30 days, they're not quite as good as Elsa, etc. Hella Tribunal, Sarah Control jumps up a little bit. Shuri Kitty. Is this one got Elsa in it? No, obviously not. But there's a Shuri Kitty version that I've with Elsa and I really, really enjoy. So let's jump back to the latest patch and let's actually let's look at just post Infinity, because these should be our best players in game, our more strategic players in game, and also those trying to grind for higher ranks as well. I don't want to say that these are the people who just screw around after Infinite anymore, because I think they actually care. So those who are trying to push further probably care about their ranks and trying to do well. Surprisingly to see Hella Tribunal up there. Again, Move, Shuri, Iron Patriot, Alioth Lockdown in B again. My Love Shade is proving to be foot and mouth pretty good here in Eating of Crow. We've got another Alioth Ramp in C, High Evo. Also Bloodstone down here in C. So not a lot of Elsa there. So maybe she's perfect as is, which is always a good thing. Let's look at last 30 days as well. This is going to be a little off, but I just wanted to pop on it real quick. So nothing. I mean, yeah, and I see even looking at that feels just weird. So I mean, look, I think that there's a lot of pretty, let's go just to 80 to infinite here and go back to the latest patch because we want to care about what's right now. Hella Tribunal. I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, is that meta? Elias still meta? And he's in a move deck that's pretty good. He's not going to be in here. He's not in this one, though. That'd be an interesting card to throw in there. And then Shuri, more Elias, high Evo, Elsa. I think not, well, interesting. Oh, I thought that was 25 again, but it's just, so Elsa is super popular right now. So her numbers are pretty solid. Obviously, we know what's up with Elias. Now let's look at Marvel Snap Zone before we go look at Conquest. All right, so in Marvel Snap Zone, we're also going to do the last 7 days. We're going to do a collection level of 3,500 plus and meta share, Conquest share. So we're going to look at it this way. So right now we've got win rate. This is an Elsa bounce. All right, so this is the higher win rate out there. Or no, this is going by meta share. So we're ranking by meta share. Let's look at meta share first. Let's just do that. That's pretty solid. All right, so that again, we're expected that. It's a huge drop off after that to Sorry Suron. Sorry, Shuron. Sorry. I don't talk good sometimes. A lot of times I edit these out, but you know what? I feel like it's more fun when I leave them in. So Sauron Shuri is next up, and it's quite a drop off there of about what, 7%, and then another almost 4% drop off to Wave High, which is your high Evo wave. I'm surprised there's not a Mobius in that. I would like to drop a Mobius in that deck, frankly. Hulk High, we got Eliath again. There's huge drop offs. I'm not even gonna look past that. So let's get off of meta share. Let's look at average cubes. I like to look at average cubes here. Elsa Bounce still high at a 0.76. Sarah Control at 0.74, both pretty good. Elsa Move at 0.7. Ravo Cerebro, Ravana. Oh, I've been playing decks like, oh my God, I've loved this deck. This is my deck. My deck. Nobody made this before me. Me. So this one's got a 0.67. I loved this deck. I had a lot of fun with it. Did some really good work on it. Sarah Elsa 0.65. So a lot of Elsa on this for the last 7 days, 80 to 90. Let's swap this to, I mean, gosh, I don't know. I think it's all going to be the same, right? I mean, it changed really null death since latest patch. That should be the, you know, latest patch has been just a few days, so, or just a little bit of time. So let's just keep it with 7 days here. I would have liked to see 30 days just to see comparatively how it was doing to others, but that's not there. And this is Conquest meta. I just noticed that. So let's do ranked meta. Oh, that's interesting. No, that was ranked meta because now it says gold to infinite. So anyway, that's something for the Marvel Snap Zone folks to get fixed there. We were in ranked meta. So yeah, let's swap this back over to 100 plus. We're going to switch the collection level to 3,500 plus. We're going to get off of meta share and go to, no, we'll look at meta share for Infinity Plus here. Wave High. All right, I could see that. 20% of the meta share after you reach infinite. That's your high Evo wave, etc. Again, I'd love to see Mobius in that. Dino Loki. All right, so that's still doing pretty good. Interesting. No Elsa there. 17% of the meta share. We're still looking at, yep. Sauron Shuri is up there with 15%. And then it drops off significantly. After that, Elsa Bounce drops a lot, big time there. I'm sort of surprised, but let's look at average cubes after infinite here. Jeff Elsa's highest at 0.79. And to me, I'm all about meta shares, whatever, right? Like it's just who's playing what. So I like to look at the average cubes. Jeff Elsa here, this looks like sort of the ones with Khazar in it, where you fill up your deck, you get Khazar, you hold an AC late. You're probably not going to play her late, but it gives you a good opportunity to get a lot of these cards early. I'm not surprised. That's a really good deck. I would probably encourage people to play decks like this if you have Elsa. A lot of cheap, easy, free cards. And I will tell you, I've been playing a ton of Angela, and she gets gigantic with stuff like this. It gets sort of crazy, where she'll win a lane all by herself. It's you just drop move cards in it over and over, and you move them and you move them, and some of them get pinged by Elsa. It's a great build-up ramp method. That's fantastic. Sarah Elsa, you know, hit monkey, play a lot of cards. Sarah late. I really like trying to get a Psylocke with Sarah, bring Sarah out on 4 to make it a little bit easier, but I know that gets clunky with your Bishop because then it's like, well, wait, who am I playing on 3? Then I'm playing Sarah on 4, but then Bishop becomes 2. I mean, shoot, if you have Ravana in here, then it becomes 1. You know, all of a sudden you've got all of these cards that potentially get cheaper. I mean, even Angela you haven't played by then gets 1. Anyway, Ravana's sort of, anyway. So yeah, these are all pretty decent use as far as average cubes. Again, that's a 0.67. They drop off pretty significantly. So I think the Jeff Elsa one is what I would be looking at. The Trib Hella stuff, the average cubes there is pretty low. So I'm not a big fan of that one for sure. I don't want to do win rate within the ranked meta. So before we go back, let's look at the top 10 decks of the day. The premium feature with Marvel Snap Zone is something that you can sort of look at. I like to do 3,500 plus. I'm going to take off for my collection. I want to look for everything. Even though I've got pretty much all the cards, I want to make sure that I'm looking at that. So what do we got? Win rate, 3 Hulks. Really? Okay, that is super surprising for the day. Only 78 games. That's one of the things you got to be careful of looking at these. There's not going to be a ton of games, but it might be something that's winning right now. And sometimes metas change on the daily basis. So you got to think about that. Negative Jane. I am not a fan of negative right now. There's Mobius's. Now this one is carrying Mobius, so maybe it's okay, but gosh, I don't know. I don't love that at all in a negative deck. I mean, you can do it for sure, and then you've got Rogue to potentially steal that Mobius. So I don't know. Maybe it works okay and you get 1 point. I mean, that's a huge average cube rate right there. I'm not going to lie. So that's solid. We got a Destroy deck over here. With a pretty decent 1.4 with a lot. This is the first time Elias shows up. We got Craven. I'm surprised there's no Elsa in that one. Wow. Move Elias. Interesting. Okay, well, not bad. Anyway, so the daily stuff is very interesting. If you want the premium feature of that to stay up daily, definitely go check that out, Marvel Snap Zone. So now let's go look at Conquest in case you're interested. We're going to switch over to Conquest, latest patch. We're going to do Pool 3 Plus. We're going to let's do Gold because I feel like that's when people really sort of try a bit harder. And obviously we can't go any higher than that. Iron Patriot, 64%. Shuri, move, high Evo. Not a lot of information. Elsa's really low. That's where I know that Second Dinner doesn't necessarily look at Conquest as far as, you know, adjustments, etc. But I personally like to look at it with stuff like this. I mean, I know it's early. We'll have some time, but keep note of where Elsa is now and where she ends up in the next, let's just say 3 weeks or so, 2 weeks. Because I want to see, does that climb? Because people are calling for nerfs like now, and you go to Conquest in Gold. If that card's not doing well in Conquest Gold, I know that I think it's Gold that you get the RNG, but people are trying as far as the matchup. Oh, but people are definitely trying there. So I think she's fine to leave as is. I don't hear a lot of people crying for nerfs, but you hear some. Iron Patriot, that's okay. So just out of curiosity, let's just go to Silver. Shuri, high Evo, move, Patriot. Also still pretty low there. Okay, let's just look at a little bit higher collection level. We've got Shuri, high Evo. Let's look at Gold. All right, Elias, Lockdown, Iron Patriot. All right, not all that much different. So let's jump back over to Marvel Snap Zone. All right, let's change this to, click it to say ranked, but it's actually Conquest, which is super weird. All right, let's go ahead and start here with the Proving Grounds up. Meta share. You know what? I don't want to do meta share here. Let's just do, we care about win rate. Let's see. So we've got wave high, Evo, wave high, high Evo, wave high, high wave, Hella Modoc. Again, I mean, there's a lot of that right now. Though that's more discard. When I hear Hella Modoc, I think of like Living Tribunal stuff. So that's super weird. What is the average cubes on that is 0.9. Win rate is 48% or 58%. Low meta share there, but that's some pretty good rates there. It doesn't even register with how many matches are on there, but nonetheless, pretty good. Sarah Control, pretty good win rate. Not a lot of matches. Hulk high, Sauron Shuri, Trib Tribunal. I'm not seeing anything. Our first Elsa move is down here with a 55% win rate. Not bad. Only 0.3 cubes though. Again, you're thinking about Conquest and affecting things. Let's now look at the Gold to Infinite. Sarah Elsa. All right, so wow. Sarah Elsa, 77% win rate on that deck. That is a deck to do well with. Now, and actually that Bast is a really good Bast. And you got that nice combo with the Devil's card of Mysterio, where you can Bast the Mysterio and then Elsa it if it's the final card played in each spot. That can be huge. I like this deck a lot. I like that deck a lot. Just looking at that, that's sexy AF. Really loving that. Shuri Nimrod, I just generally love that. It's also a 70% win rate. Impressive. Counter Sandman, I am seeing some of these. So if you have a problem with Elsa, these bounce decks, stuff that's using a lot of cards, Loki, etc., go to this. Just go to this. You will be happy with yourself. Sandman is definitely like almost instant retreat. It's just like, all right, just snap before you do it so you know what's up. You want to obviously ramp into Sandman, try to get him out there on 3 if possible, or I'm sorry, on 4 if possible. And then Trib Tribunal, we talked about that a number of times. Pretty good win rate actually, and a good cube rate. So yeah, get us some Living Tribunal on those spotlights, Second Dinner. We need to see it. Again, Sauron Shuri, pretty good. Elsa move, not surprised. It's a great deck. Wave high. We've talked about Control Thanos with Elsa. All good, solid decks. So I think we sort of see what's going on a little bit. Not a lot of things changing. I really do love the Elsa stuff. I'm glad to see a Sarah Elsa. You got your Trib Tribunal, or your Trib Tribunal, your Hella Tribunal type stuff with MODOK. I love that, even though I don't see MODOK in that one, but you should use MODOK. I'm sort of surprised that it's not necessarily in that one. Elsa moves, Sauron Shuri. I am just tongue-tied twisted today. And then Wave High, I think, are the ones that we're seeing the most of. What are you using? What are your favorite decks? Are you seeing anything that these websites are not picking up? Right now, again, I think the meta's in an okay spot. Is that a popular? I know Alioth is something that we all sort of rage about a little bit. Does it need to be changed? I don't think so. I think it's, you need to set up with it and you still need to predict where the person plays. Kudos to you for winning. So that's all I got. Appreciate you making this far. If you want to further support the channel, please hammer down that like button. I'm going to say it all month. It's my birthday month. Hammer down that like button. That's what I really want. I am doing a side push to try to get to 5,000 subs. So if you want to subscribe, very much appreciate that. Until next time, hope you have a wonderful day.